down at the park, it's time to turn on the lights, because the Danbury Westerners are playing tonight. They'll be swinging their bats and they'll be hitting home runs. It's a night of excitement and family fun.
Welcome, sports fans, to another edition of Westerners Roundup.
Well, a pleasant good evening, Westerners fans. Welcome here to the Westerners Roundup. As the summer moves along and the temperature seems to get high and low and the AC is pushing on out there, the Danbury Westerners season continues as they come in with a record of 18-5, 2.5 games back in second place behind the North Adams Steeplecats in the Western Division. And there are only 7 home games remaining at Rogers Park, so the playoff push begins right now. The boys hit a little bit of a skid, a 5-game losing streak. To be optimistic, they got it out of the way and out of their systems. Hopefully, now they'll be able to kind of push forward and make this playoff push for the first time in about 4 years. Here for the longest franchise in the NECBL. I'm Brian Irizarry. This is the Westerners Roundup. We got 3 guests with us here this show, and we'll talk to 2 right-handed pitchers, Matt Alvarez, as well as Tim Brechbuehler. But DanburyWesterners.com, you get all the information. Like I said, 7 home games remaining in the remainder of this NECBL season. The boys snapped that 5-game losing streak with a win last night, 4-1 over Holyoke. They'll wind up meeting up with those boys on Saturday, a doubleheader, and much, much more going on at Rogers Park. Let's dive into our guest here, running the Westerners Roundup. Joining me to my right is right-handed pitcher Matt Alvarez, well as right-handed pitcher number 38, Tim Brechbuehler. How you boys doing?
Good. Nice to be on the show.
Yeah. Talked about the 5-game losing streak. You guys, I like being optimistic. I've been around baseball for quite some time, so I think when you're making a playoff push, you get all this added pressure to you. Mm-hmm. You got it out of your system. You guys are ready to got the ball game snapped last night, a 4-1 win over Holyoke. Talk about that 5-game losing streak, what you guys were missing, and was it pitching, was it mental mistakes, was it hitting, or a combination of all?
Well, I don't think it was really one thing at all, but I think it was a little bit of complacency and just the team thought that they were set for the playoffs. We probably got a little bit lazy in the field. I mean, our pitching was always pretty good, but our hitting got a little shaky there for the last few games. We couldn't put a lot of runs up on the board, and a lot of mental and physical errors.
Tim, what'd you take?
I think especially this time of the summer, is time where our bodies are starting to really feel that wear and tear, especially after the college season, going right into summer ball. And I think that we just got tired, and that goes to what Matt said, the complacency, and also just thinking that we already accomplished something when really, until we actually win that title, we're not done yet. So I think we should. That was a big win last night, and we just got to keep it going through this home stretch right here and really seal the deal.
7 games remaining here at Rogers Park. You guys play pretty well here at home. What kind of things did Chev talk about after the win last night that you guys are going to take into the matchup here tonight and the remainder of the 7 home games?
I mean, the big thing that he was always talking about was getting our swagger back. I mean, when we were winning games, we really didn't care. We were just going out there and playing. It wasn't about whether we won or lost. We were just having fun. Mm-hmm. And like during that last 5-game losing streak, everyone was down. I mean, they were blaming, every blame game was going on. But now that we get, in our post-game talk yesterday, he was talking all about getting back up on the horse. Let's get our swagger back. Let's start doing this thing again. Mm-hmm.
Now, Tim, you guys are both pitchers, so from a pitching standpoint here in this league, you guys don't bat. So from a pitching standpoint, you can only control what you guys, when you're coming on in or starting pitcher, whatever that is. So was there maybe a meeting with the pitchers saying, hey, let's control what we can, and the offense hopefully will just feed off of what we're doing?
Not really. I mean, we just try to go out there and take care of our business as good as possible, and try to hold the other team to as little runs as we can. We have a great offense. I mean, we got some great bats in our lineup, and maybe they didn't show up as much in those 5 games, but our pitching wasn't perfect either. We can't really play blame game on the offense or anything, and I just think that us as a team, we just got to all just hit on all cylinders, and then nobody in this league can touch us.
All right, well, let's dive a little bit about you guys. First time you guys are on the show, I like to get to know the players individually. I will start with you, Matt. You're from Princeton, New Jersey. You attend Boston College. So You're down in that Ivy League area, down where the Trenton Thunder is AA, the New York Yankees. So is it safe to assume that you're a Yankees fan?
Yes, I bleed blue.
All right. So growing up in Princeton, talk about how you got into the game of baseball and then how you chose Boston College to go kind of far away from home.
Through high school, I mean, I was talking to many schools, and my high school team wasn't very good. I really got all my exposure from showcases and summer ball teams. I mean, I started talking to BC in the July of my junior year.
Okay.
And from there, it just they brought me up, and I loved it. I mean, hate to say it, but Boston's a fun town, being from New Jersey. But
no, but it's a nice place. It's clean.
Yeah.
Besides the whole Red Sox thing, no offense to anybody.
Yeah.
It's definitely a nice city.
Yeah, I love it up there. It's a great time. Great environment for school. Great environment for sports. I mean, everything's just right.
All right. Well, we'll go over you to Tim. You're from New Jersey as well. We talked before we got on. Gillette, New Jersey. You guys are about an hour away. You decided to go south to North Carolina. So they say a lot of baseball prospects head south and head west, where you guys can play baseball year-round. So how has that benefited you down being a Tar Heel?
Well, yeah, basically when I was in high school going through the whole recruiting process, I basically drew my line at the Mason-Dixon, and I said I didn't want to go anywhere north of that because baseball is a sport that's obviously played outdoors, and this, as much as we could be outside on the field, the better I feel, the better I can get, and it'll reduce the risk of injury. So I visited a bunch of schools, and I felt really comfortable down there with the coaching staff. We had a great coaching staff, great facilities, and it's a great academic school. And I just kind of fell in love with the campus and everything, and that's how I made my decision. So
talk about both of you guys. You go from New Jersey and in high school where you might have been the star player on your team, and now you go to pretty good Division I baseball schools. So now there are 20 of you guys. How did you make the adjustment to fit in where you might have been the superstar on your team, and now you look down the bench and there's 19 other of you?
Well, when I got to BC, the one thing I was worried about was just fitting in and filling out my role, whatever it was. Whatever they gave me to do, I wanted to do to the best of my ability. I mean, whether it was start a game, come in the fifth, or close it, whatever they gave me a chance to. I just wanted to do the best that I could.
Well, the thing is, you might not be the superstar when you go down there, but you can't lose that mental aspect of the game, because you can't just go in there thinking that all these guys are better than you. You got to keep that swagger, just like us as the Westerners. You got to believe that you belong there and really just be able to compete with everyone else, and that's probably the most important thing.
Now, Matt, talking about fitting into your role, they say that you potentially could be the closer for the Eagles. Talk about that, because when you come in for a closer, you really need to have this swagger. You sometimes come in a scoring, with runners in scoring position, you need to get the couple out, so you need to stay focused where it's you and the catcher. You don't really know that there's a batter there. So how do you get that mental state?
I mean, you just got to prepare through the whole game. Just always be ready. Know that if it's a close game, they're going to call on you. I mean, the way that I pitch, I have 2 power pitches, and I hopefully fit in great for a closer role. But just when you come in on the mound as a closer, you can't be thinking. You just have to throw and trust your stuff. I mean, the game's in your hands. You can't let it slip away.
What are you doing prior to that? For the closer, unless you guys are really in trouble, the team, they're not going to call upon you until about the 8th, 9th inning. Sometimes they might need a call on the 7th. So what are you doing for the first 7 innings? I mean, let's say in a major league standpoint, the bullpen is way in the outfield, so you're not on the bench. You're watching the game from the outfield. Like, how do you stay in the game? How do you stay focused? And then all of a sudden when that phone rings, do you know that it's for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about just having fun through those first 7 innings. Don't get complacent or bored. I mean, it gets pretty boring just watching that. I mean, you want to be in the game, but just really, it's just staying focused and staying in tune to the game and not forgetting. You gotta watch what batters are doing, who's the power hitter, who's contact, what they're missing on, all that kind of stuff.
Now, Tim, a little research on you. Number 36 pitcher in the MLB draft in the nation, 112th ranked by Baseball America. What is your role at North Carolina, and how do you kind of prepare yourself? And those are some pretty good statistics to be ranked in the nation.
Yeah, those rankings, it's just someone's opinion, so you can't really go by that. But, it's an honor.
Good way to look at it.
It's an honor to have people look at you like that. But my role down there should be, I can do anything. I can come out of the bullpen. I can close. I can be a setup man. But I'm mostly a starting pitcher because I've always been able to hold my velocity, and my arm bounces back pretty quickly. So basically, it's a completely different mental preparation because you got to go. You got to be focused for hours before the game. Just make sure you're relaxed and not getting nervous, and make sure that you have a good routine before every game that you go through. You have a lot more time to get ready as a starter than as someone coming out of the pen. And it's really important to have a good routine. A lot of guys have rituals. A lot of guys shower right before the game.
Yep.
Go out there, run, stretch, all that, that's all the stuff that you can't really do in the bullpen. So, everyone has their own routine, but, it's important to get on something like that, so.
We're here on the Westerners Roundup talking to two right-handed pitchers for the Danbury Westerners who are currently 18-15 trying to make a playoff push here in the NECBL. 7 home games remaining. Check out DanburyWesterners.com. Tonight all the way through the weekend doubleheader on Saturday and some games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. With Matt Alvarez and Tim Brechbuehler, do you guys have any sort of idols in the major leagues that you try to emulate, or are you just trying to be your own individual and maybe take a couple things from pitchers that you might see in the major leagues?
I don't know if I'd have one single idol, but growing up as a Yankees fan, it's always been Mariano Rivera. Just watching what he does. He does the same thing every night, comes out, never changes anything he does, stays within himself, and always has that one pitch, the cutter. That's all he needs. It's pretty amazing.
You got a cutter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Working on it.
Yeah, working on it. What about you, Tim?
Same type of deal. I don't really idolize one person. If I actually had to choose one person, it'd actually be a position player, which is Derek Jeter, just because of everything he does, not only on the field but off the field. He's never been in bad press. He's always had a great reputation, and he's always just been known to be a great leader. And that's the one guy I really look up to the most in the big leagues. But if I had to emulate my game after another big leaguer, it would probably be A.J. Burnett. I know he's struggling a little bit this year, but
yeah, what's going on with him?
I don't know, but he'll be all right.
Punching doors and things.
Yeah, he's fine though.
I think it's a lot of stress, when you play for the Yankees, and as you guys, growing up in New Jersey, watching that, there's a lot of added pressure when you come to New York. Yeah. So I like New Jersey. I'm from New York. New Jersey is always some sort of thing. Why do people call Jersey the dirty Jersey? Tim's like, oh, here's this question.
I guess Dirty Jersey really got its name from North Jersey. Luckily I'm from South Jersey, or Central Jersey. But, when you get off the airplane in JFK or Newark, you see all the industrial areas outside there. It smells pretty bad. Yeah. But, if you get down into Central Jersey and some of Northern Jersey, it's really nice.
It's really nice.
Yeah, you get the shore.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
That's some of the shores.
What's the deal with people having exit signs on their car? I live off of exit 68, or I live off of exit this. What is that?
That's just, I guess it's their exit on the parkway. I've never really understood it, but I guess it's Jersey pride. People are crazy.
All right, so let's talk about Jersey's been pretty popular. Now, I've never seen the show. I don't know if you guys have. You're kind of in that demographic.
Of course we have.
Tell me about the Jersey Shore. I kind of know what it's about. I've never, ever seen it. So I kind of can put 2 and 2 together. But, Tim, what is the Jersey Shore all about?
Well, it's basically just a reality show. And the funny thing is, there might be like 1 or 2 people on the show that are actually from New Jersey. Everyone else is from New York or Rhode Island. It's an entertaining reality show. There's a lot of action stuff. A lot of stuff goes down, but really it just gives New Jersey a worse reputation.
Yeah.
So it's really not like what people think it is. People are just jealous that they're not from New Jersey.
Yeah, they probably chose the worst beach to do it at. Seaside, it's a lot of fun, but you get some pretty sketchy and weird people there sometimes. If you want to have a good time, you gotta go to LBI, Long Beach Island, or somewhere down there. It's really beautiful down there.
Yeah. Or even just 10 minutes from Seaside, where I go is like Lavalette, Maniloking area. That's a very nice area. Yeah.
So obviously you guys have some New Jersey pride. You're not too far here from Danbury. So tell me about how you guys went from BC, from North Carolina. You went back home, and then how did you wind up in Danbury?
Well, I guess the way it worked was it wasn't a choice, but the coach kind of set me up with it, and it's been great ever since. I like it because it's close to home.
Your coach at BC?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he basically called me in and said, you're going to be playing in Danbury, and I said, great. It's only hour and 15 from my house. Good league, good team. So I was pretty excited when I got the word. And
Hour 15 from Princeton. You're hauling, man. Yeah. I guess when was the last time you were home?
About a week ago.
A week ago?
Yeah.
What kind of car do you drive?
Jeep Cherokee.
You didn't make it an hour. Tim, how'd you get here?
Well, basically, in the fall, I got a call from Coach Mascara, and he did a great job of recruiting some good players this year, and he kind of told me about the team and the NECBL. I really didn't know much about. I only knew about the Cape, really.
Yeah.
And I talked to my coach, and he said it was a great league, and he said it would be a good place for me to go to. So I just signed my contract, and I went home for like a week, and then came right up here. So. Now,
you guys have been struggling just a little bit. Yeah. So everybody, as a team, you guys are trying to win. That's the ultimate goal. But coming into this, your coach is saying, hey, you need to come here and kind of improve on a couple things. Personally, what did you guys want to improve on in this season?
Well, this year my season was plagued by injuries with elbow injuries, and coming to Danbury, I was just hoping to get my stamina up, get my control back, and get my feel for my pitches again. I mean, it was really just basically like a rehab for me. Okay. But it's been good.
I did the same thing with me. I was plagued by injuries too. I had a bunch of tendonitis all through my arm, and it actually took me out for enough of the season that I redshirted this year. So the most important thing for me this summer was just to get back into that competitive environment, because I'd been throwing bullpens for the second half of the season all year, but it's completely different between a controlled setting and getting into a game against hitters and having a field behind you. And so it's I'm still not quite there, but I think I've made some great improvements, and I've been struggling a little bit, but it hasn't been. It's been like an inning here or there. For the most part, I've been pitching pretty well, but just haven't gotten quite there yet. So
there's about 10 games, maybe about 12 remaining, 7 here at home at Rogers Park. You guys are trying to make the playoffs. Bristol's half a game right behind you, so it's kind of important that you keep up with it. What do you guys need to make sure that you guys stay in the race, and also just when you guys get called upon to make sure that you come up with a good output?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just don't put any added pressure on yourself. I mean, just go out there and have fun, play the game the way you had to. And we're here for a reason. It's because we can play baseball pretty well. I mean, if we all band together and do our jobs, we have no problem getting to the playoffs and hopefully winning the whole thing.
Nice.
Yeah, just like Matt said, you can't put extra pressure on yourself. You got to make sure, in the end, it's still a game. You got to make sure we're all having fun out there. And when you're having fun, that's when you're playing your best. Because once you start pressing, once you start thinking about the playoffs, and you start thinking about how, I've been struggling, on the mound, or I haven't gotten a hit in 3 games, that's when you start burying yourself. And you really got to stay confident and really, make sure you're encouraging yourself and your teammates. And then that's when we can really win some ball games.
Well, I know it's cliche, but I've been around baseball a long time. Greatest thing about the sport, every day is a new day.
Yeah,
so your slate is wiped clean no matter what.
Exactly.
So keep that mentality as you guys make this playoff push towards the end. But thank you guys for coming on.
Yep. No
problem.
So that's Matt Alvarez and Tim Brechbuehler. You can see these guys right at Rogers Park. 7 home games remaining at the ballpark, DanburyWesterners.com. We're going to take a quick break right here on the Roundup. We'll bring Tom Spooner, the VP of Operations and Promotions. Got a bunch of things going on with the remaining 7 home games at Rogers Park. He's going to come on and let you know. So we'll take a quick break right here on the Westerners Roundup.
It's something we all agree on. It's something we all do. USO depends entirely on the generosity of the American people. Help us support our troops until everyone comes home.
Back here on the Westerners Roundup, I'm Brian Irizarry. We had Matt Alvarez and Tim Brechbuehler. Glad those guys were able to stop on by. They're headed to Rogers Park tonight. Ball game is going to be already started while you're watching this, but as soon as this ends at 7 o'clock, head on down to Rogers Park and cheer on the boys. Hopefully we'll be in about the third inning. I like it when these guys play quick. But glad to be joined by Tom Spooner, the VP of Operations and Promotions, the Danbury Westerners. Things have been going very well. 5th in attendance right now in the NECBL, but the playoff push is coming, and I like to attach that with the time is now. So talk about the success the Westerners have had this season and kind of leading up into this.
Well, as usual, the unpredictableness of this league is probably the toughest thing to predict. You know, you always say you're prepared for everything, but with so many games crammed in such a short schedule that it's wide open in thunderstorm and rain and all kinds of stuff. So we've had a rough little stretch here, Brian. But fortunately, the schedule maker, 7 of our last 9 games are at home. And we think we've got our, as the boys said earlier, you know, it's time to get that swagger back. And there's nothing like getting your swagger back with a nice long homestand. And we're packed with fun things for kids and different promotions this week. Starting tonight will be the Jimmy Fund Night, which is an annual traditional fundraiser we have for cancer research in children, established in this area by Bill Pullen. Tonight's night is sponsored by Bill Slifkin, a partner of him in Babe Ruth Baseball. And tonight's game will be a tough game against Sanford Mainers tonight, which they're in second place, I believe, in the Eastern Division. Yeah. So no slouch by any means. But what I really want to emphasize to everybody is come down and see this team play. You know, these kids have worked so hard, they've been so dedicated, and we are very grateful that we've made such a big jump in attendance this year. But this is it. This is the final kick, and the players always tell me, boy, we really respond when the crowds are there and people are into it. You know what I mean? So I really can't emphasize enough to come down and check it out. It's the best deal in town, you know, for the value.
So there's games remaining tonight, Jimmy Fund Night. You have tomorrow, Friday, and then Saturday doubleheader, and then
Monday and Tuesday. We finish our home, and then we go on the road.
I think, is there a game? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I believe there's some games.
But yes, you're right.
But on Friday, it's going to be Eager Readers Achieve. The pun on the word ERA for pitchers. Right. Alvarez and Brechbuehler. Talk a little bit about that.
This is a night that'll be sponsored by the Schaefer family, who generally sponsor a literacy or literacy-related program. This year we had something different. We went to all the local area libraries in order to promote the Westerners, to get the Westerner word out, plus also to promote summer reading. So what we did was we gave local libraries free admission tickets for adults. For any kid that signed up for their summer reading program.
Great.
And we donated 5,800 tickets to a variety of, all the area local libraries, and they were very grateful for it. So that's tomorrow evening.
Yep, and then Saturday there's a doubleheader against Holyoke, which the team wound up winning 4-1 last night to snap a 5-game losing streak. Let's get pushed over to Monday, Irish Cultural Center night. I know that before the season started, wound up going to the Irish Cultural Center. Nice facility.
Yeah, we
brand new. So those boys and gals are going to be out at the ballpark.
Yes,
and what are they going to be doing?
Well, we've got some surprises. Let's put it that way. Okay. We don't like to show our whole hand, but it's going to be a fun night. Monday night is sponsored by Molly Darcy's Irish Pub, and also Guinness, which is an Irish grog. So we're really excited about Monday night. Tuesday night's game is to benefit the Scotty Fund, which is a cancer support group to help families with cancer and serious illnesses to families and to children. Also be Fireman's Night on Tuesday night. Let's see, that will be against, that's a big game because that's against Bristol.
Yep.
Who was right behind us in the standings.
So there's a bunch of things going on at the ballpark. Coming on up, tonight's going to be the Jimmy Fun night, so right after this show ends at 7 o'clock, you should head on down. Friday's going to be the Eagers Readers Achieve, so for local kids in the area that accomplish the task through the library system, be able to come out to the ballpark at Rogers Park and watch the Westerners. Saturday is going to be the doubleheader. I believe Saturday is also the combination with the other Danbury team, the Danbury Whalers.
Yes, Friday, actually it's Friday night.
Friday night, okay.
They get kind of caught. Everybody runs into each other toward the end of the year.
I don't even know what day it is.
You know, but tomorrow night, actually Friday night, will be the Meet the Whalers as well. The team will be working out in Whaler shirts, and
nice.
We're trying to work together with the Whalers to create some Danbury entertainment.
Yep. We got about a minute left. Talk about why it's so important to help this team get into this playoff push with 7 home games remaining, and why it's such a big season and emphasis.
Well, number one is we haven't made the playoffs the last 4 years and 5 years, and it's a little disheartening. And this team is we feel is the strongest, one of the strongest teams we've had in the 16 years in the league, and we've worked very hard to create a more family atmosphere, more family fun, variety of events going on for kids besides just the ball game. We have raffles and kids trivia, and we have the t-ball hit and the bouncy bounce and other various things, and it's just a good community feeling, to help support the Westerners, and the team really responds when the crowd is there. So we really encourage everybody to come on down and check it out.
Well, I know that I've been there. I've seen exactly what Tom is talking about. Tonight's the Jimmy Fun night. To come on down, 7 o'clock. As soon as this show ends, game will already be in progress at 6:35 as they take on the Sanford Mainers tonight. And then they'll have a game tomorrow against Laconia. It's a doubleheader on Saturday against Holyoke. Sunday on the road.
Sunday, day off.
Sunday, day off. Monday is going to be Irish Cultural Night.
That's against North Shore, which is the leading team.
And then Tuesday's against Bristol, the Nutmeg neighbor. Mm-hmm. And then Wednesday, I think, is against North Adams.
North Adams, which is the team right above us.
So I know the schedule fairly well there, but glad to be joined by Tom Spooner, the VP of Operations and Promotions, both the 2 right-handed pitchers, Matt Alvarez and Tim Brechbuehler. Remember, the boys are making a push. 7 home games remaining at Rogers Park. We appreciate your time. Hopefully we'll see you at the ballpark the remaining rest of this week and a half coming on up at Rogers Park. I'm Brian Irizarry. This has been the Westerners Roundup.